Hi, today I'm going to do a guitar lesson on how to play Grand Theft Autumn by Fall Out Boy, otherwise known as Where Is Your Boy Tonight? This is a cool song, and the interesting thing about this song to me is that with all the fancy guitar work he's got going on, it still works out to be a three-chord song. The chords are G, A, and D. And he's got all kinds of variations and twists and turns on the chords, but he's working off of those chords, G, A, and D. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. These are some of the oddball chords he's using, not all of them. And if you need a longer look at that, you can pause it. Okay, the song starts out on... he's grabbing the second fret on the G and B string, second fret, and then he's playing that opposite this single note, which is third fret on the B string, and he's going back and forth between those. The rhythm on that is something like this. Okay, and if you're playing the song by yourself, you're just going to play that riff again 2 more times. But if you're lucky enough to have a second guitarist, somebody playing along with you, the second guitar is just strumming on a regular D over top of that riff on the third and fourth times through it. Okay, so from there. He goes to a G chord, regular G chord, and he's just hitting that 8 times, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to an A, a regular A, but he's adding in this note, the third string on the B. That's a D, actually, is the note, and he's not strumming it. The picking pattern is. Okay, and then to a D suspended, which is one of the chords that on that paper that I showed you. And the picking pattern on that is... do it again. Okay, the next part of the song uses the top 3 chords on that piece of paper I just showed you there. It's G, A, and D. One thing about them is all 3 of them are using this open E string as a top note. Top note, that note doesn't belong in a normal G, doesn't belong in a normal D, but it does belong in an A. And then the G chord has this note, which might throw you. But that's not unusual. It just belongs in a G. The A chord is I'm calling it an A, and here's my logic for that. This is an A. This is an A seventh. This is an A suspended, and what he's playing is this. So I'm calling it an A seventh suspended, which might or might not exist, but that's what I'm calling it. Okay, the picking pattern for that. On the G, he's just walking up the stairs, going low note to high note. And then to the A, he's walking up the stairs again, low note to high note. Again. Okay, and then he's to the D suspended, and here's the picking pattern for that. Do it again. Once through here. Do it again. Okay, and you might want to take a little time to go through those last 3 chords I showed you. Play them until you can get them smooth, and play them until you can get up to speed with the song. So it's... Okay, so, and that's the basic pattern of the verse. That's what I consider that. And he's only playing it a couple times to get through the first few lines, and then when he gets to "You need him, I could be him," he's strumming, and he's strumming on the bottom 3 chords. Bottom 3 chords, the page that I showed you, and he's strumming through them, and he's on one rhythm until he gets to the word "trying," and then the rhythm is different, but he's still strumming on the same chords. And it sounds of something like... Okay, and that gets you through to "Where Is Your Boy Tonight?" And for that part, he's back on the top 3 chords on that page that I showed you. He's just strumming them, and he's hitting them 2 times each chord. So it's... Okay, and here's where you're lucky if you have a second guitarist, somebody playing along with you, because the second guitar at that point is playing this really cool little riff. I'm going to show it to you. You're going to grab on the 7th fret, grabbing the G and the B string, G string, B string, 7th fret, and it's also got the open E string in there. And the up-down picking on this is key. You got to do the up-down picking. He is starting on the up. He's starting on the up. So it is up on the G and B, down on the G and B, up on the open E, down on only the G. Again, up on the G and B, down on the G and B, up on the open E string, down on only the G. Okay, so that's really slow, but you need to practice that and work it up to speed and get it faster and faster until you can get it to the speed of the song. And that's just a cool little riff. And even if you don't have somebody playing with you, learn that riff. That's a good riff. It's cool, and it's a good exercise for you. Okay, so we've come back around to, at this point we're at "Someday I'll Appreciate and Value, Get Off My Ass and Call You." And this is basically like the beginning of the song again. It's kind of a rehash of the beginning. So you can play the opening riff, or the D, strum the D. I prefer the opening riff. And then strumming the G. And this time he's strumming on the A, and it's just a regular A. And then at the tail end of it, he's just picking out 3 notes out of the D chord. And then he comes back into that pattern of the verse that I showed you earlier. Excuse me. And now if you're playing this song just yourself, I would recommend that you just play that pattern through this part of the song. That's how I would do it. I think it'll come out a lot smoother that way. But what's actually going on in the recording is that the first guitar is playing that pattern, but then they drop them way in the background so you can barely hear it, and the second guitar is up in the forefront, and he's thumping away on power chords with a little bit of palm mute. So the power chords for those would be third position for the G, fifth position for the A, and fifth position move over a string for the D. And the rhythm of that is something like okay, and that brings us, where does that bring us to? We are back around to You Need Him, I Could Be Him. So you're just going to play that that part the same way that you played it the first time, which is... okay, and then we're once again at Where's Your Boy Tonight, and you're going to play that just like you played it the first time. Okay, and when you get to the end of that, it kind of fades out. It fades out a bit or whatever, and then he comes back. He's picking out the notes of a D chord, and they fade him out and fade him back in. But what he's actually playing is not really that tricky. He's on a D chord and he's going... a little faster though. Okay, and you get through that, and okay, now we're up to You Won't Find Out. And for this, he is just strumming on the regular chords, G, A, and D. The rhythm of that is something like this. You're going to have to check me on the rhythm. That's probably not exact. It's around that neighborhood. And while over top of that, second guitar is playing that cool little riff again. And that's going over top of that. Okay, but now we're almost to the end. The only thing that's really left is he goes through Where's Your Boy Tonight 2 times. And you could play both times just as you've played them before. If you wanted to, but I think what's actually going on when he gets to I hope he is a gentleman. The guitar cuts back to 0 and to nothing, and then there's a little break, and when he comes back into it, he's on a D suspended fourth. Which the other D suspended is, what we've been working with is D suspended second. This is a D with this note added, the 3rd fret on the E string. And he's coming back into it on that, and then I believe it's an A, and then back to the G. And then by the time he gets to last good thing about I think by the time he gets to About This Part of Town is where he's back into the regular pattern that he'd been playing it before. And then the last time he goes, "Where's your boy tonight?" Is just the same way you've been playing the whole song, and ends on a D chord, and that's how you play Grand Theft Autumn by Fall Out Boy.